All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm speaking to UFC fighter Jose Johnson. Jose, first of all, thank you for coming on today, taking the time to speak to me. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm staying skinny, just like the display name says.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about that soon. You're going to have to get real skinny, right?
Yes, sir.
Excited to talk about that. But all right, let's hop right into it. Let's start from the beginning. I like to get a little feel first. So can you tell us a little bit of how you got into mixed martial arts? How'd you start?
Basically, excuse me. Basically, I was a troubled kid. I was in and out of the streets, and I don't know why I gotta click my voice. Lord, basically, I was a troubled kid. I was in and out of the streets, was just doing things that I should not have been doing, hanging around people I shouldn't have been hanging around, and one day got caught up so bad where I lost everything that I thought I had and was forced to restart everything all over again. And then the fortunate thing that was there when I started my restarting process was mixed martial arts. I walked into a gym for the first time and trained and got my butt kicked by some nerdy dudes, and it was pretty dope. I didn't understand it, and I was the hood kid on the block. I thought I could beat up everybody, and that's not the case. Had my first fight as an amateur, got my ass whooped, and fell in love with it. Now we're
So, oh, sorry, keep going.
no, you're fine. Now we're here.
I was going to ask, so where are you training now? Is it the
I
same
train,
camp or somewhere else?
I train somewhere else. I train at Strike and Submit Martial Arts. It's a Taekwondo based gym with a lot of jiu-jitsu and a lot of kickboxing that I work. And I do my grappling, my primary grappling and MMA work with Renzo Gracie San Antonio with my black belt, Philip Platt.
Nice. What belt are you?
Actually, we've been trying to reschedule these promotions, but I'm getting my brown belt soon.
Nice, nice. It's about time.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, yeah, and then I want to talk about a little bit about Dana White's Contender Series. So, your first appearance, back in 2020, you
Mm.
faced off against Ronnie Lawrence there. Um, Unfortunately, you lost that one. What was kind of like the feelings you were going through, like after finally making it there and then getting that loss? Did you think it was over for you with the UFC, or did you think you can get back there?
Uh, there was a split second where I thought that this wasn't for me. I worked so hard. I did everything that you could think was humanly possible. That 6 back-to-back first round finishes. These aren't submission wins. These are knocking people unconscious.
Hmm.
I did everything that I think you thought you could do, and then I get there and get outpointed and take no damage because of takedowns. And it's like, hey, man, I really don't like defending these takedowns. And I don't know, man. I was just going through a lot of hard things in life at the time, and I had to get those in order for me to find myself again. And then when I did, things started to fall in line, but I still had some mishaps along the way, and still tried to make the best of it, and got back and fought on the Contender Series again. Was a better showing. Wasn't my best performance. I personally didn't like it, but everyone else liked it because
How come you didn't like it? It was a good performance, in my opinion.
mm, I'm very hard on myself, man. I felt as if my grappling was a lot better than I even demonstrated. I felt that I allowed him to get too comfortable in a lot of stalemate positions where I know I could have pressed the action and I could have pressed more. I could have used my hands more. I could have utilized the clinch more. There's a lot of things that I could have done a lot more. I should have felt it. The first takedown I did on him was fairly easy. I could have done that several more times. I didn't push that action. It was more so that like I had messed up on the Contender Series already, and I was almost too scared to mess up again. That it kind of made me freeze a little bit. So I did everything that I needed to do to stay safe and to get the win, like decisively.
Hmm.
But I could have done more.
Gotcha. Do you think you were more nervous for the second appearance, or was it the first one that you were more nervous for?
Not nerves in the terms of like, like the bigger, grander stage. Like, I've already seen it. Uh, I've had a lot of pressure going up in life, period, just to survive. So the
Hmm.
pressure of being in that cage is not really a whole lot for me. It wasn't that. It was more so like, man, if I lose this, like, what's next? That's what it was. Like, not necessarily being there. It's like, damn, where do I go next if I don't accomplish this?
Just a ton of pressure, right?
A ton of pressure in that sense.
Were you nervous at all about the grappling? Because you got another grappler in your second appearance, or were you like, did you know you were ready at that point? Because I mean, you fought some good grapplers outside of the Contender Series too.
Hmm.
You submitted Mo Miller, which is super impressive.
Hmm. Well, it was funny. So I actually hit up my manager Jason with Uridium. I talked to him and I was like, man, dude, like I fight everybody, bro. I remember this conversation like it happened yesterday. I was like, bro, I fight everybody, bro. He's like, well, we got you another opportunity on the Contender Series. I was like, man, can we get like a bum? Like, can you just pull some kid from the street and then throw him a couple $100 and like tell him to fight me and lay down? And that made me look good, man. I'm tired of fighting these fucking monsters, man. I'm always fighting monsters. The people that people don't want to fight, I'm always fighting those guys. So I was a little tired, and I was like, "Yo, man, just give me something that makes sense." He was like, "Okay, I got you." This fucker comes back a week later, and he's like, "Jose, I got an opponent for you." I'm like, "Bet." Jason heard me. Didn't know uh, Jack Cartwright. I'm like, did you hear anything that we talked about? That makes no fucking. That's literally the complete opposite
He
of
got
what I
you an undefeated
was.
guy.
He's like, bro, you got it. That's how Jason is. Bro, have you seen you? You got it. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm just convinced that this is going to be my career now. I'm usually fighting these people that people don't want to fight.
Gets you
My
ready though, right?
my debut, they're like, hey, we ain't gonna give you no regular Joe. It's fucking Damon Black shit. This dude's got like 6 UFC fights already. He's what I'm saying, a monster on the ground. We know how you love being down there. Go fight that dude. And I'm like, let's do it. Like, so I'm always that guy.
How did it feel to, beat an undefeated kid and beat him at his own game too? You out-grappled him, and he's like primarily a grappler.
Oh man, I wasn't even gonna do that to him. I typically like to be a really respectful guy. And it's when I see something disrespectful is when I'm like, oh, okay. Now I have to prove a point to you to make you feel less. And he talked a lot the same way that Chad and Helliger did. I'm gonna be better than him everywhere. I'm gonna smash him. He was talking a lot of shit at weigh-ins, and I was like, dude, you are probably the ugliest person I've ever fought in my life. He's just like such a strange fellow to look at. And I was like, I'm gonna make an example out of you. I'm gonna make an example out of you. I'm not gonna knock you out because people would say that was too easy for me. It's something that they would expect. They don't expect me to out grapple you. So let me do that. Let me beat you at your own game. And then after you silence the crowd, after beating this 10-0 guy at his own game, it's like, damn, what can he do? Then people stop doubting you. And then they gave me Chad. And Chad said the same shit. I'm gonna be better than him everywhere. I'm like, bro, you're a midget. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna be better than me at striking. Your striking looks very subpar against people who are your height. What are you gonna do is gonna be different for me. I even let him hit me just to see how I felt. It was nothing. Um, it's usually when these guys talk crazy is when it kind of lights a fire under my eyes. Before then, man, it's just all mutual respect. It's like, hey, dude, I know you're trying to feed your family. I'm trying to feed mine too. Let's beat the shit out of each other and let's go get a beer afterwards. But when you start talking, it just kind of puts me in a different mental space. Now I'm
Do
like
you
ready.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Are you good? And I'm just saying, like, now I'm just ready.
Do you prefer going into it with that mindset, like that you feel disrespected, or
I mean, I'm from the hood, man. controversy has been my whole entire life. Uh, I always wish a motherfucker would, but I can still follow through with my game plan regardless, even if they were extremely respectful. I respect that as well because at the end of the day, I'm a mixed martial artist. But do I
Got
like to shit talk sometimes? A little bit. Little, makes it a little more fun. Makes it a little more
yeah.
fun.
So you were talking about, like all the doubts after the first loss and all of that. How did it feel when Dana gave you that contract and you knew, all right, that's it. I'm in the UFC now.
Mm. I felt disrespected,
How come?
to be honest. I didn't like the way I was presented my contract. He presented my contract like I was the stepchild. Like there was all his kids and I'm just like there, the stepchild. And he was just like, you know what? You're here. You're decent. Like, just go ahead and give him his contract so we don't gotta see him no more.
Hmm.
It felt like he was trying to get rid of me. Yeah, he beat a undefeated guy. The fight was weird. He literally labeled my fight being weird, is what he said in front of millions about me. I felt mad disrespected. I felt super disrespected, and I will spend the rest of my entire career making him regret those words.
I like that. I was going to ask, did it kind of like light a fire under your ass for that?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like I really felt disrespected about that one. When I rewatched it, I was like, wow. Thought I did way more than I needed to get that contract. Regardless, I've already fought on Contender Series before. I fought this guy. He's undefeated. Y'all wanted him. Y'all wanted Mo Miller. Strangled Mo Miller. Destroyed him on the ground. What else you want from me? And you're gonna call my fight weird? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely get that. Has your training changed at all since you've gotten to the UFC? Have you like stepped it up, or has it been kind of the same? You were already training a lot.
Oh man, my everything has changed. Um, my wife cracks down on me a lot. Uh, I'm actually implementing a lot of different new fighting styles, of which I will not name, but implementing a lot of different new things and new looks into my fight game. I can't wait to demonstrate them. Man, I'm on supplements now. Didn't even know what the fuck those were. Yeah, like every time USADA came to the door, they're like, "You on any new drugs?" I'm like, "What?" Bro, I drink water. What are you talking about? That's it. No, dude. Now I'm on everything now, and I'm taking them consistently. About to take them right now, actually. And my diet, Icon working personally alongside with Icon Mills and Heather Phelps, who's my dietitian over at the PI, and weights just coming off easy. Man, this is the lightest I've walked in since I was like fucking 17, 18. Usually I'm cutting down to 35 and I'm like 155, 156, something like that. Man, I literally have been walking around like 140 and I feel great.
Wow.
So while we made the decision to go down.
Yeah, so yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So your next fight got announced. You got your dub over Chad, and now you're going to be fighting Lucas Rocha in April, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what prompted the move down to 125? Was that your own decision, or did like the matchmakers ask you if you could do that?
Mm-hmm. Nope, that was my own decision. It was actually a decision that was come to between conversation between me and my family, man. Yep. We were just sitting there one day, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I want to make history." And we were kind of thinking about how in different ways of which we can make history. I said, "What if I went down to 125? Because I've been walking low." Everybody kind of paused, like, that's fucking crazy. But that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Like exactly, which is why it fits. And we told ourselves that everybody's gonna remember the name Frondozo Johnson. So it's gonna be a staple. Everybody's gonna remember that. And
Oh yeah.
they're gonna remember me for doing this. And then I'm gonna go back and forth. Then when my body slows down a little bit, I go up to 45 too. Because I can do that as well.
Yeah, that's why I was like curious because you could easily be a 45er with your frame, and
And
even
still be
at bantamweight, you were huge.
mm-hmm.
And compared to this kid, you're going to be a giant. I mean, I think he's like 5'4" or 5'3".
Yeah, he's 5'3". He's a little guy.
How do you feel about that matchup in general?
I don't put nothing past anybody. The only thing is that I have extreme confidence in my training. I have extreme confidence in my support system, and I'm just very focused. And a very focused me is a very dangerous me. And I've seen him fight, and he's decent. And I just don't think that he's gonna be as dangerous as me everywhere.
Do you think there's going to be a bunch of grappling there too, or you hoping it's on the feet?
I think this man is gonna shoot to save his goddamn life. I think he is gonna be biting the shit out of ankles. That's the only way I foresee him being any form of successful in it. He has to try to wear on me like that, and you're not gonna wear on me like that. Not with the training I've been doing and the diet that I've been keeping up, and I feel great now. Hell, I weighed 130, like close to 137 the other day, and every time I've gotten that low before, cutting to 135, I feel it all in my back. I feel it in different places, and I woke up like it was a new day. I was good. So I'm
So
gonna
it's
feel
gotten a lot easier.
I'm gonna feel the exact same way that I felt at 135 at 125. And if he thinks that he's gonna come in and try to wrestle me to get me tired, they're gonna be waking his ass up. So
Do you know how much you rehydrate usually, like after weigh-ins, like compared to your weigh-in and then when you fight?
so when I weighed in at 136, this past fight I got up to 48.
Oh wow,
At 47, 48 is what it was. Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a lot for him if you end up
That's
going
gonna
back
be
up there.
I'm definitely gonna be about 44,
Wow.
about 44 that next day. So yep. And we have a plan behind all of that.
Have you done like a test cut yet, or?
Yes, we have. And I got low. I didn't need to get to 25 to know that I was ready for it. But we got low. And then I had sparring rounds to follow, maintain the power, maintain the speed, the stamina. Like, I was good.
You think it affects your cardio at all or not?
No, I feel like it keeps me sharp, to be honest. I've noticed a certain sharpness in my mind when shit just on everyday things like problem solving.
Mhm.
You know, my wife teases me all the time because I act like an old person. Hell, I even drive like an old person. We had a whole conversation about it today. Everybody's like speeding past me. I'm like, well, shit, am I driving like an old person? Am I getting old? I'm doing 5 over the speed limit. Everybody's speeding by, and I'm losing my mind, dude. It's pissing me off. So, like, usually I'm about that slow. But when I'm cutting and my weight is low, I can just feel super sharp. I can feel it in even the slightest little thing, like my jab and my footwork. Everything just feels good. It just feels super snappy. And if I even carry over an ounce of that power on fight night, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make that cut okay, I think you're going to be a menace at 125, man. I was shocked when I saw the announcement. I didn't even think that could be an option for you.
Yeah, that reaction that you had is what a lot of them are gonna have. Everybody's gonna be. I tell the wife, I was like, everybody's gonna be holding their breath when they see me get on that scale on that Friday. They're gonna be like, and it says 126, and everybody's gonna lose their freaking mind. It's gonna go crazy. I was like, just get ready because the media is gonna lose their shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you for sure, like it's definitely going to be a narrative going into that fight. People are
Mm,
going to be like, "Oh, is he going to be able to make weight? Is it going to affect his chin? What's he going to look like?" And you pull up, you make weight. People are going to be pretty shocked.
exactly. And then especially when they see the performance.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward to that fight. And yeah, we can wrap it up real quick. I did want to ask you about your thoughts on this weekend's fights on the main
Mm.
event. You have any predictions? Any thoughts? Volk to Puria?
Hey, I love them both. Fuck, man, that's a tough one. I love them both. I seen a video today about Vulcan. He's a funny ass dude,
The
bro.
old person one?
The over dude, I was dying. Me and the wife were watching that. It was hilarious, bro. It was so funny. I was like, this guy is such a fucking clown. But Saporio, man, he's a monster in his hands, dude. If he gets to the inside and he's able to let off a 3 to 4 punch combination, I feel he will clip Volk. We've seen that Volk is not indestructible. However, he took that fight on fairly short notice. I know how that goes personally, so I'm not holding it against him. I say Volk. I say Volk by decision. If not Volk by decision, I feel like Topuria finishes it in the third.
Yeah, I kind of think the same. Like, I'm a huge Topuria fan. I have been, and I was waiting for this fight, but kind of think Volk takes it,
Yeah,
especially after the
it's
whole.
hard. It's like if it goes past like round 3, then Volk's got it. But if he looking a little shaky after round 2 and then going to round 3, and Topuria's got some momentum, yeah, that's probably a wrap. That's probably done there.
Did you think he made a mistake going short notice against Islam in their rematch?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that was wild to do uh, with that high caliber of a fight. Like when you're like me, so you trying to make a name for yourself, like you do that kind of stupid shit because you can afford it. That that is that was some ballsy shit. And he got my respect for doing it. Do I think it was a very smart career choice? No, because then now he got his chin exposed. Uh, but I hope the best for him. I hope he bounces back pretty good.
As a fighter, do you think the chin will be all right? He got knocked out. What was it, like? I think 3-4 months ago by Islam.
Mm, that's tough, man. I can personally say that I got TKO'd and it was all mental. It had nothing to do with my chin. My mind, I was physically in the fight, but my mind was like on life problems. And that's what happens when you can be physically ready all day, but if your mind's not there, the body's not gonna follow. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the performance is gonna suffer because of it. And then I fought shortly after I got TKO'd and got hit a couple times in that fight, and I was like, I'm fine. This is good. So I mean, he could be recovered. However, I didn't get kicked in my fucking head either. So I don't know. I mean, chin action is a little bit different than you just catching a nice little clean check hook.
Yeah,
A little different. We'll see.
especially when it's Islam on the other side too.
Yeah, I'm saying dude's a monster, bro. So something about those Abraham Lincoln beards. They do this. They do this, and they look like Honest Abe. Those motherfuckers are a menace to society, dude. Dude's a killer, bro. So
But all right, man. That's really all I got for you. Thanks for taking the time coming to talk to me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, really looking forward to your next fight in April. We'll be cheering you on. And yeah, I say let's get out of here. You have anything to plug real quick? Anything to say?
I just want to plug this sponsor right here, Live Oaks Vodka. San Antonio, not San Antonio. I believe he's in Houston. Do not quote me. He is Texas based. That's all I know. And Texas is what it is. I just want to thank my family always for supporting me, my coaches, my gym, SAS, Enzo Gracie, San Antonio, for being in my corner, my boxing coach, Rashard Hicks, my cousin, Jonathan Pati, all these guys being in my corner and pushing me on a daily. My beautiful children for motivating me, for making me get up, take their asses to school. So that's the motivation I need. Get my butt in training every morning and just God first and foremost.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Thanks again. And yeah, let's get out of here.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.